Boom. What is up, party people? I got my first redhead in here. Are you a redhead? It's kind of hard to see in there.
No,
Is
more
that
of a
like
brunette, like
more
a strawberry
brunette? Okay.
brunette.
I have
Yeah.
like color filters on that way I don't see colors as well. And I'm not getting hit dopamine all day and blue light. So, guys, we have a farmer's agent in here. First year in here, she absolutely fucking crushed it. Rookie agent of the year. So, kudos to yourself, dear. And the growth agent of the year. What do those even mean?
So, rookie agent of the year is new agents to farmers that basically have grown. So, of the new interns and new people that come onto farmers, whoever outperforms their class gets rookie agent of the year. Growth agent of the year is for our entire district, whatever agency grew the most policies enforced within that 1 year period. So, I got both.
Awesome. And guys, today, if you want to go wish Brianna, at the time of the recording, it's her 18th birthday. She's been doing insurance for 17 years, straight out of the womb. She sold 10 policies to all the doctors.
Yep, exactly.
Now, what were you doing before insurance?
I was in high school. So
You went straight into insurance straight out of high school?
I worked at a pizza place
There
for,
we go. There's the dirt. There's the dirty past.
yeah, I worked at a pizza place for about a year in the evenings, but I worked at State Farm originally in the afternoon. So my senior year of high school, I'd get out of school around noon. I'd go to State Farm, work there from 12 to 5, get out of there at 5. And then I would go over to the pizza place and work there from 5 to 10 ish.
What kind of tragedies and mayhem went on in the pizza place? Were you guys like having dough fights or like what kind of shit goes on in a pizza shop?
Um, I mean, it's all high school kids that work there, so it was
Weird.
just the same things that happened at high school. We would just talk about each other and bully each other and lock each other in the walk-in cooler and prank each other. So it wasn't a real job. You just basically,
Absolutely not. Y'all got paid to screw off
yeah, exactly,
and,
exactly,
and eat as much as you pleased.
exactly.
What's your favorite pizza, by the way?
I
This will
like
say a lot about you as a person.
I like a Mediterranean, like white garlic sauce with spinach, artichoke, like yeah. I'm not a big pizza eater actually.
Well, you're kind of classy.
I know. I eat it with my pinky out.
Oh, so you're bougie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're bougie. Okay, whatever that word means. I just hear you girls use it all the time. So the eyebrows are on fleek. She likes Mediterranean pizza with her pinky out. That was one
Mhm.
of my biggest habits that I could not break. I had a tea party in second grade, and I got like a card change because I wouldn't stick out my pinky when we were drinking it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like so embarrassed of that damn card change that I started doing it. And they're like, it took me about until 2 years ago to break that habit because I would grab anything, a water bottle, and it's like pinky out instantly.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You gotta. You just gotta hydrate.
Yeah. So why did you get into insurance?
So, funny story. I had planned on actually being an attorney. I graduated high school.
You look like you can argue.
I'm pretty good at it, honestly.
You
I
get Attitude of the Year award too. I know there's like a fucking like tiger in there just ready to come out. So I love it.
Yep, yep. No, I definitely like to be right, so I will prove my point. But yeah, I was in high school. I had planned on going to NAU in Flagstaff. And then I got cold feet. It was 2007, 2008, as the entire world was crashing and real estate was crashing. So I got cold feet, ended up not going to NAU, and I had stayed. I grew up in Lake Havasu in Arizona, so I stayed home, did community college, and I was working part time at State Farm. And the agent that I worked for had offered me $1 an hour raise if I got my license. So I went from making like $7 an hour to $8 an hour. That was exciting. And then once I got my license, I just realized I was really, really good at insurance and I really liked it. And the more that I learned, the more I wanted to do it. And then here I am, 17 years later and haven't looked back. I think it was kind of a blessing in disguise because I have friends that are attorneys and they hate their jobs. And
Most
I,
do.
yeah, I love my career path. I love what I do every day. So it worked out.
Yeah, I wouldn't say what's the word to describe it? Like I know I would make a good attorney, but also that as I've gotten older, I've got a lot more ethical and moral. Just like trying to please God, be grateful, be a good-hearted human at the core of it. So like part of me is like, I know I could lie and get this dude out of trouble, but also he's guilty as shit, Your Honor. He's guilty. He did that.
He did
So,
that.
and what's scary is I've been reading reports. It's like lawyers and attorneys are expected to be replaced completely in the next 10 years by like artificial intelligence. It's like, why pay 50 grand to a lawyer over this divorce? Like, whatever it is, you just go pay $50 to this computer program, and it's like, not guilty.
Well, they say the same thing about insurance agents that we're supposed to be replaced.
I don't think insurance agents will ever be replaced. I think a lot more of it will start coming down to point of sale type of stuff, like very transactional here in the near future. It'll probably just be required or something. It'll try to take out a lot of the humanity components, but this is still it's too emotional of a sale.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's too emotional of a process because people, until they understand and grasp the concepts of what insurance actually does for them, because it's a very like life insurance is a very selfless investment. And you have to explain to people like you're not buying this for your fucking self. It's not something you play with. You don't get it. Like it's for your kids on the worst day of their life when their dad or their mom dies. They get to use it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for you. Only thing you can do with that policy is like go visit Brianna in Vegas. And you're in Vegas, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question for you about that because that's interesting. You go to like the Mirage Hotel, you tear a paper out and you make a paper airplane, you throw it off your balcony. It's about all you can do with your damn life insurance policy, okay? You're not going to read it, but it's a very selfless investment. I don't think the general population of the US truly grasps and understands the concepts of what it does.
Mm-hmm.
And we judge what we don't understand because it's confusing and it's scary. And that's one thing I think most insurance agents aren't even aware of is they say they're scared to fail, but I think they have it completely inversed and like flopped on its head. They're not scared of failure. I think they're scared of success because they don't know what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
You're already failing right now and you're comfortable. You know what that feels like. You don't know what success feels like. You have no contrastive analysis. You have nothing to compare it to. So it's scary. It's unknown. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would. I think for me, when I started my own agency, I think that's what I had, that fear of failure. And then once I started this, I was realizing exactly what you said. I was more scared of succeeding because as you climb higher, that threshold gets higher and higher, and the standard for what success looks like continues to increase. And so looking back, I was just very complacent for the first 15 years of my career. I learned a lot throughout that process. And I think it was the building blocks of the foundation I have now to run a successful agency. But yeah, I definitely think that once I started becoming successful with, building my team and my agency, that's when I realized this is more scary than failing. Because failing, you can just throw your hands up and walk away and be like, oh, I tried it and didn't work out. But with success, you have to keep running at that pace. Otherwise you fail.
Absolutely. And like this industry is so fucking awesome because you get rewarded for your effort and your heart. The more attention you focus on building relationships and solving people's problems. I had a girl yesterday get paid like $68,000 from a fucking annuity. Like that is life. She made more money in a day than she's made in a fucking year.
That's
That's
awesome.
insane. Like that's incredible. And
Mm-hmm.
this industry is so beautiful and terrifying at the same time. because I think it makes you confront your biggest insecurities that you weren't even aware of. And I think the change, because the identity that got you to where you are is not going to be the person that gets you to where you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes you confront yourself. And for a lot of people, I don't think they've been taught how to handle their emotions good enough.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is the biggest problems agents face in this industry is emotional intelligence. And they don't know how to detach. And when I say detach, I don't mean like the Vampire Diaries that I always get fucking compared to for some reason. Apparently, I'm just a heartless prick. But we're not just shutting off our emotions. I think it's using the emotion needed to get the job done. And no matter how you feel, you do it anyways.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Anyways, what has kind of that emotional journey been like for you? Because I don't know if you're going to agree with me on this, but I would say most women are emotional, like decision makers. They act on how they feel. So, like, how hard is it for you to like separate? Like at the beginning, how hard was it for you to like, oh, I'm getting nervous. Like this sucks. Like, oh, I don't know what to fucking do. Like this isn't fun. Like selling feet pics wasn't around back then. It was like, I'm just gonna go sell pizza. Like I'm gonna go do this. This is too uncomfortable. I don't like it. I'm insecure. Like, what has an emotional journey been like for you as a girl in this industry?
So I think you kind of touched on it at the beginning of the conversation. And I think that it has made me a successful agent and a successful leader because of the emotional intelligence that I possess. And most women are just more in tune with that. I'm actually reading a book right now by Gary Vanderchuck, and he basically lays out the 12 and a half principles. Do you have the book behind you?
What is it? Crushing it?
I think it's the 12 and a half like principles of business.
Yeah, I've got it over there on that shelf. Yeah, I enjoy books.
You don't, or you do?
No, I love books.
Oh, yeah, same.
People are like, you want to go out to the bar tonight? It's like, fuck no, I got Carl Jung's new like psychology book. Like, what are you doing with your life, dude? You're talking to the same bitch like from 3 years ago that now, what do you mean? She's still getting you to buy her drinks. So yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt and go off on a tangent about that. Go.
No, you're fine. You're fine. But Gary kind of talks about the emotional aspects of business that for so long people thought in order to be successful in business you had to be like a Steve Jobs. You had to have, heartless, black and white, look at the numbers, look at the data. And I disagree with that because as you mentioned, like insurance is an emotional sale. We're selling an invaluable product that has literally no meaning, or like they don't grasp the concept of it until they need it, until their house burns down, until their spouse dies, until they have a horrific car accident. They didn't understand. All they cared about up until that point was, I'm paying so much for something I never use. And then the day that they use it, they're sitting in my office, tears streaming down their face because it's the worst day of their life. And being able to put that person back together as best as possible after the sale, that's the part that people don't really grasp or understand. But that is the emotional aspect of it, of you're trusting me, complete stranger, to basically protect your life, your loved ones' lives, your financial future, basically. And being able to also relay that to my team. And when I'm hiring my team, one of the lessons that I learned is I don't want a salesperson, because a salesperson will, sell you a crappy used car to make $100. And that's just not the type of business that we do. And so a lot of times when people in the interview process tell me I'm not a salesperson, I'm like, great. I don't want a salesperson. I want somebody with the background of helping people, somebody that's selfless, somebody that's, empathetic, people that listen. That's the type of people I want on my team, because we're going to do better business and we're going to do what's right by the client. And making money is going to be the afterthought of the entire process.
Yeah, so I won't disagree with that, but we live in a world of paradoxes. Two things can be true at the same time. So while I think you need to have kind of that Steve Jobs mentality, cold, ruth, like you need to be capable of like being bitter, being cold-hearted, being transparent to the point you don't give a fuck how they feel because it's not your responsibility for how they react to you, because that's all internal. They can't process that energy. But those are the people who don't get very far in sales. They'll make a lot of money really quick, but then they'll lose it because they're buy or die.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to have that humanity in you. You still need to be a good-hearted person, but you also need to be able to not get stuck in this paradigm of it's either this way or this way. No, because life is not so fucking black and white. There's a lot of gray. Like I said, two things can be true at the same time. And here's an example. Like, I care about what people say, but also don't give a damn.
Mm-hmm.
Or I have a lot of ambition, but I'm not a very ambitious person. And that'll go over a lot of people's heads. But it's like, it has to be ethical and purposeful to me. Because I can have ambition for the right things, but I'm not going to be ambitious towards something that's unethical or sleazy, or it's not worth my time, quite frankly, because I want leverage. That's the goal of being an entrepreneur, is to build. We're not trying to have well-balanced diets and like six packs. No, we want like one big ass arm, and that's the red button of leverage we're building, and then just smash it in as many times as we can until it breaks.
Mm-hmm.
But like that buy or die doesn't get very far. You need people who have a good heart and they understand how to be in tune with people's emotions. And that is the one up I will say that women have over men, because you guys are so much more in tune with your emotions, and from such a young age, especially in today's generation, there's no fucking fathers. So no one's telling these boys that they like, son, I don't care how you feel. You must perform anyways. Like your fam, like your mom's not going to care how you feel forever. If you're 25 years old and you're still fat, eating Cheetos, smoking weed, playing video games all day in the basement, your mom's going to grow to hate you. I don't care what all the moms say about I love my baby. Like, if your son's a fuck up, no, you won't. So listen, like, this industry has its challenges for men and women, and they're so unique to me. Like seeing how people like you navigate them. Because I see a lot of women, they have this whole new identity to where like they don't need anybody. They become very masculine with their behavior, and it fucks up their marriage. And they're like, I chased the wrong thing when it's too late. Mm-hmm. And it's like, how do you juggle that? How do you juggle that as a woman?
Like the masculine versus feminine energy?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, how does this, like, I'm not sure if you're married or anything. I'm not a Facebook stalker. I don't have time to oh, does she have bikini picture? Like, I don't have time to do all that shit.
Yeah, no. So I am not married. I'm single. I'm a single mom too, actually. But I think for society, and I'm going to generalize, and
you have to generalize when making a point, but we have exceptions, but exceptions do not disprove the point. Yes.
Yeah. So I think just looking at how society has operated in the last 20 to 50 years, it has made women become more masculine because there's a lack of masculine men in the world. Correct. There's more feminine men that are on the receiving ends of things, which biologically you can fight me tooth and nail all the way, but I think that the masculine energy was meant to be the provider and the protector. But when they failed on that, women had no other choice other than to step up and to protect and provide for themselves. And so with that, it's something where you do it out of necessity. Like, it's survival of the fittest. So women either had the choice of being unprotected and unprovided for, or picking up their bootstraps and doing it themselves. And so for me, it's been a struggle, because to have a man or the male energy come into my life, he needs to exceed where I'm at. I need to have him be more successful. Or
exactly. Women do not date down.
Yes, because
I can go date a broke Burger King girl, and I don't give a fuck about what she has. But like, women will only date up.
Yeah, well, not all women. Smart women will only date up.
For the most part, yes, but like a woman is not going to like marry the guy who's got nothing. Like she won't even give him the time of the day.
Yes, because when I look at it,
And I don't blame her either. I don't blame her either.
yeah. And I feel like too men get so offended by it of like, oh, women are such gold diggers. And it's like, it's not. I've got my own gold, honey. Like I don't need your gold. But if I'm going to allow you into my space, you need to either make me better at what I'm doing. You must be able to provide if, I got sick or something happened.
I
You
think
need to be
it's
able.
survival. It's in your guy's biology. So when like I hear guys complain about women being gold diggers, I'm like, why the fuck does it even matter? Because like I think women are resource extractors because I'm just gonna be real, like you guys don't have hands. Like a 12-year-old boy could beat up 99% of the women on earth unless you're fucking Ronda Rousey and shooting tests in your ass. But it's a survival thing because women are gonna have to do what they've always done best, like use their beauty and use their like female nature to stay alive as long as they can. Find their mountain. Like it breaks my fucking heart to see like women becoming the guys they truly want to date and marry.
Mhm.
They have to, and it's like it's the fucking dude's fault. It's like,
Mhm.
and I don't want to say I'm not judgmental because I fucking am. Because someone has to be real. Like, no, like you say you're depressed and all this shit because you can't get a girl. Like, no, you're a fat fuck who's lazy. You sit around, you smoke weed all day, you play like you're doing nothing. Why would a girl choose you? Would
Mhm.
you date you if you were a girl? Absolutely not. Absolutely fucking not. So it's like a woman needs a mountain. It's like it blows my mind when I see dudes out in public and they're getting ran all over by their wives. No, we're going here, we're doing this, we're doing like she's shit testing you, dude, just to see if you're gonna grow a fucking pair.
Mhm.
Tell her no. Hot girls don't get told no. So when I have to come do it, don't get mad. But it blows my mind, and I feel bad for you guys. Not like pity or sympathy, but it's just like, where the fuck are all the good men? Because I'm having to do the job of all of them for the most part. But I
Mhm.
get called toxic control. Like I know I'm the biggest dickhead in the world. I know, girl. So, but I'll keep you safe, and I'll feed you Mexican food and margaritas. Just we'll have fun, okay?
You'll do your job.
I know what the fuck I'm supposed to do.
Mhm.
I've failed enough at it to know what I actually had to get good at. So how have you kind of managed to keep your like not taking like your business mindset, which is like very masculine, you're decisive, you know what you want, to like kind of the dating and the relationships with like people that you really care about, not being like boss bitch, I'm an insurance agency owner. Like how do you manage those two as a woman? Because I see a lot of girls struggle with it.
I don't, if we're being honest. Like I don't really have a love life at all. And I knew jumping into this that I was gonna basically marry my business. And so for the next
You're gonna have to sacrifice a lot. And women becoming entrepreneurial need to realize that because you I know deep down biologically, you guys are social creatures and having your children and your clan, your family is what makes you biologically the most happy and fulfilled as a woman.
Mhm.
So, but also you kind of weed out or you start like minimalizing and marginalizing potential mates because
Mhm.
the more successful you get, you're only going to date up. And like
Mhm.
that's what people don't realize about like Beyonce and Jay-Z. Like she's going to keep going back to Jay-Z no matter how much he cheats because who the fuck is she?
Who's above him?
Who else is she going to get?
Yeah.
Who else is she going to get? So no, she's going to put up with him being with multiple women as all the kings have in the past. And it's just is what it is. And like
Mhm.
I tell people this and it blows their mind. Like a girl will share like a dude who's worthy of it. Whether they like it or not, kind of out of their control. But if they find a man who doesn't even make them think, they can go wherever they want. They have a magic wallet. Like if they need that shirt, they have like, where'd this money come from? Every time I swipe this card, it goes through. Like as long as you give them a pretty exhilarating life and you're their mountain, you don't move no matter how many shit tests and booty tests they give you. you're set. You can kind of do whatever you want. That's what I love about you guys is you're so loyal when you're worthy of it. When a man knows how to put a woman in submissive energy, it makes life 10 times better.
But I see right there is where I will never probably be in a submissive energy because I would rather
not.
not.
Entrepreneurial. You've had to sacrifice a lot of that. As you said, you going into this, you're marrying your business.
But I have the choice of, okay, I'll just kind of take your theory and run with it. I have the choice of being alone, having everything that I want and providing for myself without having to share. Or I can have, a masculine energy who's going to sleep with, 100 women a month. I'd rather just go my own,
Maybe just like 10.
Just like 10. See, but I look at that too and I'm like, I don't think that that's masculine energy. I feel like that's very weak feminine energy of like a man that has a loyal woman or partner and he's willing to cheat on him. That's somebody I would never do business with. If a business partner will cheat on his own wife, he's gonna fuck it over as he can in business.
My views on cheating are because most men are emotional messes and they get involved emotionally. But also, I have the ability to completely detach from anything, unlike most females do. Mm-hmm. So, like, if I go do something once a month, I'm not going to lie about it for one. And you're going to be aware of, like, the values have to be aligned. I think too many people just jump into relationships not knowing what they want.
So then with that, what's good for him has to be good for her. So if she wants to go once a month and
absolutely not. That's not happening.
It's such a small mindset. Like what you're saying makes no sense.
It does in my worldview. Like, men and women are very different. Like what loyalty is to women is very different from a man.
Disagree. I think that if
what do you think loyalty in a woman is? Because how I see loyalty in as a woman is sexual exclusivity. But like for a man, in order for a man to show true loyalty, he has to have optionality. I think a man who can only get one girl, he's not going to keep that girl for very long because like girls don't want a guy that no other girls want. Would you agree with that part? You don't want a guy that no other girl wants. Like if no other girl finds him attractive or like worthy of reproduction, you're probably not going to even give him the time of the day. You're like, well, if no one else wants him, neither do I.
I think there's having the options, but having the strength to say no. I think that's what makes a man.
I'm getting that right there. Because a man who's only tasted one apple, he doesn't know if that apple even tastes good or not because he has no other experience. He has to go out there and try 50 of them. But it's also the loyalty and the optionality is so intertwined because you guys get to go into the candy store the moment you're born because you're all beautiful. We have to wait 18 years until we build ourselves up to even have enough money to get in there. Mm-hmm. Like girls get in the clubs for free, guys have to pay. It's generally how it is. Mm-hmm. So I had to wait 18 years to get in there when you got in there the day you were born. And now I'm finally seeing apples and oranges. And it's like, once you've had that, optionality is saying, okay, I'll take apples 6 days a week, but once I'm taking an orange. That's true optionality, though. It's like you're making the choice to say no. But I don't believe a man truly has any worth unless he has optionality. Does that make sense?
Yes, it's just toxic masculinity.
It absolutely is. But it's what got us here. Like you're talking about how much things have changed in the last 20 to 50 years. Mm-hmm. That's the stuff that's gone because what got us here was all of that. It's the kings who had like Genghis Khan, I think, had thousands of children. For one, that's nuts. And I think, crazy fact, 1% of the population today is a descendant of him, which is crazy. But those men did whatever the fuck they wanted because girls knew that as long as they didn't mind it, they were going to be taken care of. And I think that's what I kind of like about Islamic nature, like the 4 wives. But I mean, I don't think you should have 4 wives unless you can take care of every single one of them.
I'd like to have 4 husbands that all take care of me. That would be ideal.
Some people do. Some people do. I'm sure it won't be hard to find in Vegas at all. But it's like, for me personally, I don't want to deal with all the extra drama and headaches of having multiple women running around. I would rather have one at home knowing it's safe, like not necessarily safe, but she's my peace and quiet. She is like, I don't talk to my girl about problems or anything. It's not her problem to deal with. Like, baby, work today sucked. Like, no girl wants to fucking hear that. Like, she needs to be my like quiet place and my calm. I don't want to come home and compete.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you say you don't really change up much in turn, like you don't really have a dating life. So like, you pretty much just keep the same mindset, no matter where you are, no matter who you're talking to.
I wouldn't say it's the same mindset, but I look at things much more analytical now that I've been in business.
More logical, rational brain rather than emotional decision making.
Exactly. So the things that I would allow or that I was attracted to in my early 20s, I find completely disgusting now, like in my mid 30s, where I look at that and I'm like, if I wouldn't hire you to work for me, I will not date you. Like if you're not going to have, this checklist of qualifications to come in and
what is on that checklist of qualifications? Gotta be 6'5". You gotta make this much money. Gotta be handsome. Gotta be charming. Gotta love my parent. Like,
no, I mean,
you guys have a laundry list.
No, because those are the things that I thought when I was younger mattered, and as I've gotten older, it's like, if somebody is capable of building long-lasting relationships in their personal life, it shows that they're of quality character, where they are, transparent and honest and
the internal guts.
Yes, exactly. And so I look at that and I'm like, okay, if I look at your resume and it's like 3 months here and 6 months here, in your job history, it doesn't show any sort of longevity or loyalty. And it's the same thing if I look at a man's dating history and it's like, you had this girlfriend for 3 months and then you had 2 girlfriends for 6 months. And it's like, you're not showing any sort of longevity or loyalty in your career or in your dating history. And I think those kind of go hand in hand.
They correlate. I teach so much about, like, I use dating analogies all the time because it's one, easy for people to get, but two, how you do one thing is how you do everything. Like, how you would never ask your customers to marry you on the first date. Unless you're fucking Ted Bundy or something, Jeffrey Don. Yeah, no, I don't. I'm not in the military. I'm not in the military. So I don't just do that shit. But it's like, they go hand in hand. If you're pretty good at dating, I'm sure you'll be pretty good in business for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
It's the consistency. It's the being resilient. It's having thick skin, not getting mad when a girl tells you no. Like, her dad could have died that day. It's not even you most of the time. She's just going through shit or whatever. Or if she's not interested, why does it matter? Just go to the next one. The same with customers, though. If one person doesn't give you business, is it the end of your life? No, but I see so many people get fucking hung up. It's like, oh, they didn't buy this 1,000 annual premium policy. What am I going to do? It's like, don't you have leads?
Yeah, go find 10 more.
That completely fucking blows my mind. But no, I wanted to get your take on your mindset because I see so many female producers that, like, I know they have so much potential because you guys have a superpower in this industry. Like I said, your ability to connect and resonate with people and get their feelings and emotions out, it's unparalleled. Men have to train it. You guys get it pretty much natural.
Mm-hmm.
I've had to train it for fucking years. So it's like, if they didn't approach this business with an emotional, like, decision-making process, I think they get so much farther.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, I'm always going to have a soft spot for single moms. While I have a soft spot, I also don't give a fuck. Like, a woman crying is not going to, like, make me do anything or feel a type of way. I'm resilient to that type of shit now. They can't make me do anything I don't want to do. So it's like, when I see these single moms going out there just fucking killing it, Like, it sounds like you are. But it's like also you have the single moms with like 5 kids, bills due tomorrow. It's like you're just approaching this business wrong, sweetheart. Like, you're not thinking rationally. You're trying to do things to make yourself feel better rather than to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think.
Like, how would you approach it if you were them? Like, what are some things you can do? Because I'm sure a lot of women will watch this because women are marginalized for the most part in this industry. And I think it's changed a lot in the last, since COVID came around. You're starting to see a fuck ton more girls coming in here, which I like, because right now it's just a huge sausage party. But because I want an entrepreneurial woman for the most, at least like open to the idea of like running a business with me.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are some like actionable things that they can do to kind of like get out of their own way?
Well, I think birth control would be to start. If you've
Oh
got,
no, accept birth control.
I think
You're
if
fucking
you,
the hormones up and you're messing my tap water up.
I just think that if you've got 5 kids, like somewhere along the process.
Okay, yeah, they'll like go get your tubes tied, woman. You don't need any fucking more. I really appreciate what you've done on this earth. You brought 5 beautiful babies, but no more.
No more, no more. I think just in the generation today, people don't want to do the groundwork to build a foundation for success. Everybody sees on social media, oh, like I want to be a millionaire by 25. I want to, do this. I want to do that. And they don't understand that with that, you got to eat shit for a lot of years. Like you have to start at the bottom rung of the totem pole and you have to put your time in. And it takes a long time to climb that ladder to where you're in a position to have that success. And I think that a lot of people only see the highlight reel of an entrepreneur. They see them driving the Mercedes.
They see the 60 seconds on Facebook and YouTube, and it's like,
mm-hmm.
the other 23 hours and 59 minutes
Yes.
of me eating shit.
Yes. And
not literally, but it's kind of like that fuck around, find out scale.
Yes.
If
yes.
you fuck around at a 7, you're going to find out at a 7 what it takes. Like,
yes, exactly.
Most people don't really want what they say they want. I believe that as well. Like, because they're not really willing to do what's required.
Mm-hmm. But I think too is like coming into this industry, finding a mentor, somebody that's willing to open up the other side and show you like, hey, you're going to go into a massive amount of debt. And like when people I've, shared, I'm very transparent with my team, with everybody that has asked. I'm like, I don't know why there's this big secrecy around money, but like, I don't care. I will show you. Yeah, it looks great. You can make $300,000 in a year, but if it costs you $400,000 to make it, you're not really as successful as you portray yourself on Facebook. And so it's like, you have to be able to go into that with a transparent ability to see what success really looks like and then what that defines it for you. Because some people would be, success is if I made $300,000 this year, I'm successful. And other persons could say, I don't really care how much money I made, but if I'm able to leave the office at 5 and take 2 weeks of vacation and spend time with my family, I'm successful. You have to be able to kind of navigate that and figure out your why at the core of it. And then once you figure that out, then you build around it. But just know it takes time to get there. You're not going to, wake up today and, magic fairy dust, you're successful. It takes time and effort and energy to build that of whatever that success is for yourself.
Yeah, it's compounding effort. It's like the 10th wonder of the world. It's like at 10 years made you an overnight success on social media. Kind of like Ty Lopez. This dude just blew up out of nowhere, but you didn't realize he was building 9-figure companies before that. So it's always funny to hear it must be nice. That. And you're right. Most people are not very profitable. They'll come on here like, I have $1 million agency or I'm making $1 million. Like, yeah, but you're spending $200,000 in chargebacks. You spent $700,000 in leads, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, like my first year, I actually made out with like $200K something profit. Like it took me, I ended up quitting buying leads after I was like, I'm going to spend like $70,000 this year on leads. Like I'm done doing this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Learn how to do advertising and marketing. But it's like, I would have lost all my profits if it was for that. So I want people to be profitable because I think you can come in here and actually do it completely for free outside of the initial barrier of entry, so licensing, and if you're good, you get someone else to pay for it for you.
Mm-hmm.
Just, hey, agency owner, hey, Brianna, look, I'll bring you coffee. I'm not gonna paint your nails because I'll probably mess some shit up. Like, I'll do something. Just like take care of this for me, okay? Like we got a
Mm-hmm.
deal. Like you can, if you're a resourceful person, there's no telling what you can fucking do in this industry. And then it all comes down to relationships. You build good friendships, you're one relationship away from everything you've wanted in this industry. One person, one good lawyer, one good funeral home, one good, what's another one? Chamber of Commerce meeting will put you in front of every single customer you'll ever want for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Most
Agreed.
people don't leverage those correctly. So, and before I go into kind of the pitfalls and things you've run into, like building your own agency, owning an insurance agency in Vegas, what's that like? Are you guys like fucking party animals in there? Are you throwing midgets with the dartboard, like taking edibles? You're like, bring the bong, bitch! Like I just wrote a policy. What are you guys doing in there?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we have midget Wednesdays, so we bring the midgets in on Wednesdays and we
I
throw
want to
them
book an invite next time I'm in Vegas for a hypnosis class. I'm stopping by to see you.
No, I think people have a misconception of what Vegas is. And it's like I mean, I go to bed at like 9 p.m. Like I am so boring. You know, we have fun in our office, but like
No
by
ball
no
parties.
means is yeah, it's not. I mean, I feel like by being an insurance agent, you're already kind of nerdy and conservative by nature, like looking at risk and this and that and underwriting. And so we're not having wild and crazy parties. I mean, we do have tequila in the freezer on hand just in case we have one of those shit days. And being in a hard market, we've been hitting those bottles more than once. But no,
Aflac pulling out of this bitch.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we work really hard, but I think too we have a lot of fun, and just the team culture and dynamic that I have in my agency is very supportive and motivating. So, yeah, I would say having that be the center of everything that we do makes everything else not as hard and difficult. Just having fun and being able to have a good time at work.
We're pretty good. We're good at counterbalancing on each other on here. I don't know if you've noticed, but it's like I'm way out there and you're like way in here. It's good. You're good at pulling me back in. I enjoy this. It's a good like little volley, like tennis volley, whatever the fuck they're called. So I appreciate that. You've got good conversational skills. So what have been some of the biggest pitfalls you've had as an agency owner, like to pull your hair out moments?
There's been a lot. I have a bald patch over here. I don't know if you can see. My biggest struggle, because when I came into opening my agency, I knew insurance in and out, back of my hand. Like I'd done
Yeah,
it
you did it
forever.
15 years prior, but it's so like, but on the agency side of things, like you taking ownership responsibility, you have to
Mhm.
put on all these other hats, bringing in leads, managing this. Like,
Yes,
what were those like bald spot moments? As you can tell, I've
you've
had,
had a few.
yeah, I've got my power. They're actually coming back. I've been micro needling, so my hair is coming back in.
The biggest one, and it goes back to every successful agent I've ever spoken to, is building the team. I built I made so many bad hires. I spent so much money on payroll for people that were not doing their jobs. I was begging people to show up on time, to, not come to work hungover or drunk or high. Or I spent the first year and a half doing all the wrong things with building a team that now I believe, I'm still learning, I'm still a work in progress, but now I believe I'm able to identify and pick out those traits early on of, are you a giver or are you a taker? And one of my mentors, his name is Richard Salinas. He's like one of the number one agents with farmers. His office is in Texas. In January, I went to visit his agency, and what I realized, and one of the things he speaks on, is every person on his team is a giver. They give back into the agency for the greater good. And therefore, because they have that mentality, he's able to make their wildest dreams come true. He takes people from, basically below the poverty line that grew up with a single mom or, taking care of their family and getting their first job at 14 to help pay the rent. And he takes those people and he turns them into rock stars, and he's able to help them buy their first home and do all these things. And so I looked at that and I'm like, I have takers on my team. They show up every day with their hand out of what am I going to do for them? And once I realized that, I mean, I was 1 month away from closing my doors. I had $5,000 left in my business account. I was not going to make payroll for the next month. And I just had people that would show up late to work. They didn't want to do their job. When I asked them to do their job, it was met with just disdain and attitude. And it was the worst time. I literally was like pulling my hair out, having a mental breakdown every day because I'm like, I don't know how to motivate these people to do what they were hired to do. So fast forward a year, everybody that I had previously, they quit or I fired them. I scratched my whole team and rebuilt from scratch. And now the team that I have is very centered and focused on, they want to help people. They want to help clients. They're very selfless. They're givers. And by doing that, it's basically giving back into the agency. And therefore I'm able to compensate for that. And they're making more money and they're making more sales. And it's like, it's a give. So I think going back in time, it was that learning lesson I had to make because I'd never built a team from scratch. So I had no idea. And
Fun, isn't it?
What was that?
It's fun, isn't it?
It was terrible.
It's not stressful at all.
No. And I because I decided during the middle of the pandemic that I was going to quit my job and start an agency during a time when everybody was getting paid $4,000 or $5,000 a month to sit at home and do nothing. And so when I was trying to hire my first staff people, I would set 40, 50 interviews a week and 3 would show up. So it was at the point to where I'm like, if you'll come, I will hire you. Like, just show up and you have a job. Like, I don't care who you are or anything about you, but like, you're here, so you have a desk.
No. And what you said a while ago about like, it all starts with a belief, and it's usually a who, not a what that you need. It's not a new lead system. It's not a new CRM. Mm-hmm. It's a who. Like, find someone who knows what they need to do. Like, instead of me taking 2 years to learn something, let me just pay someone who already knows it. Let them come in. But it's always a who that you need, not a what. And what you're talking about a while ago, it reminds me a lot of that. One of the best movies ever, The Wolf of Wall Street, where that girl's like, she's like crying. You know the scene I'm talking about where she's like, I fucking love you, Jordan.
Oh, yes.
Like, she didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. Like, I fucking love you, Jordan. He's like, I fucking love you.
Yes.
Oh, that's one of my favorite scenes. And what was that other one? That pick up the phone, start dialing. That was another really good scene. They're gonna have to send in the National Guard. That movie got me into entrepreneurship back in 2020 because I was burning my beard every day, catching shit on fire, setting like bombs off in work, like ice bombs. It was safe. So I still had fun, but it was fucking miserable. Slaving away for $20 an hour. That movie saved my fucking life. I swear. Because I'd still be callous. Like, I've still got calloused hands, but it's that manual labor shit. Do what?
What did you do before insurance?
I built electric motors and I like machined metal. So some pretty crazy shit. I worked for NASA for like half a year. I lived over in San Jose, California, working at the Ames Research Center. That place was fucking weird. I rebuilt their wind tunnel where they tested every prototype of everything that's ever flown. It's like this motor you could stand 3 of me up in. The chief engineer of Google, he was a fucking weirdo, but he took us all out to this like Roadhouse place that was like flip the card, and it's like, I want that type of money. Even though he was a nerd, but it was very tedious, back-breaking work, melting copper, all kinds of shit. But then I poured concrete. So everything construction related, I did it. It'll take you from being a scrawny little bitch to a grown man at the young age of 12 really quick with knee problems. If you see those yearbook pictures of like kids not smiling, it's like Timmy, age 6, alcoholic. That was me. I was smoking Marlboros. Like I had those cowboy killers at the age of 10, girl. So I wasn't fucking around back then. I was trying to fist fight adults just because environment I grew up in. But that's a little bit of what I did. Then I just got tired of being poor, fucking struggling. There was a whole year of my life where I worked at McDonald's where I was like, I'm not sure if Las Vegas had those or how long you've been over there, but they had peel and scratch things where you could win free food on like the fry cartons and 10-piece nuggets. When I worked there, I'd like take a bunch of those cartons into the back and start peeling them off so I could like get free food that day. Because that's all I could fucking afford. Or like a McChicken and a sweet tea every day. Because I was fucking broke, and my mom was too busy working 3 jobs to do anything. So I think that's where my soft spot for single mothers comes in. Because I'm like, you shouldn't have to try to be the father. 1, biologically, you're not capable of doing it. But 2, you're playing a role you were never designed to. And it's like, my hearts go out to those girls who are still doing the fucking best with what they have available.
Yeah.
Now, the single moms just blasting their baby daddies like, this piece of shit, like, you slept with him. What do you mean? It's 50-50. You spread your legs for him. What do you mean it's all his fault? It's not. You brought little Timmy into this world still. It's like, take your accountability. But it's a double-edged sword. But that's what I love about this industry is it shapes you, I think. I don't think there's any other industry that will turn you into such a good-hearted person if you tackle it the right way. And that's why I love agents. This is why I love having conversations like these. One is to find the other people who are just as crazy as I am out there. Because you and I are both fucking weirdos.
You have to have a little bit of, crazy mental illness issues to want to just jump off the deep end and start a business and have
you have to be crazy to be an entrepreneur. And it's people don't understand that you would have to be insane to prove your own sanity. So we look insane to most people because the risks that we take and the sacrifices that we make are unbearable to most people. You said it yourself. You were marrying your business. Like, most people are not emotionally capable enough to make a sacrifice that fucking big. To make a sacrifice that fucking big. And it's like, how many friends have you lost over this industry, like becoming an entrepreneur? How many things have you had to miss out on? A lot, right?
Yep.
And it's fucking hard to deal with because at night when we're all alone, we just sit there in our thoughts. And we don't have the crutch of I guess a lot of entrepreneurs do. They'll go fucking get drunk as fuck every night to wash away their pain because they can't manage it. But for the most part, I like sitting there and dealing with it. Because I think it's in those moments where you have some of the biggest fucking breakthroughs in life. You learn who you are as a person, how appreciative you are of this world. I've gotten a lot closer to my homie God. He's the coolest dude in the fucking world. I love him. Maybe he's non-bond. No, he's the fucking man. He has every single thing I've asked for, but only because I've been willing to sacrifice. Like, he's like, Mason, no more Xbox. You can't be a pussy. If you see a girl you're attracted to, like, go talk to her. Like, do hard things. Don't sit there and cry and pout. Like, go honor me. Go show me the beauty of my own creation. So, like, I can empathize with people, but I will not sympathize. Like, I did it. I didn't give up. I didn't sit there and cry and take the easy way out. I didn't act like a little bitch. And I'm just so appreciative of this industry because it will give you every single thing you want if you're willing to do what it takes.
Absolutely.
What are some of the biggest things that it's given you? Like outside of a life for you, is it a son or a daughter that you have?
I have an 8-year-old daughter.
Oh, you guys are both trouble. I already know. I already know. Does she run the show?
So yes, she has her own little name tag.
Love it.
She comes to the office and she'll walk around to, my producer's desks and did you get any sales today? How many quotes have you done? How many calls did you make? Like she's in tune with it. But I
This
think
girl's gonna be a fucking gangster by the time she's in high school.
she
Wait,
already is.
candy? She's already selling candy bars. I bet. I love it.
Oh, she is, yeah. But I think more than anything, it's allowed me to show her what hard work looks like and just the other side of it. Because I think a lot of times we in society you get brainwashed into believing that you have to go to college, you have to do this, you have to get a good job with a 401k, and you have to follow this cookie cutter life. And it's like you don't have to. If you want to, I'm not knocking it.
If
If
you're
that's
a doctor, a lawyer, or a teacher, yes, you need a fucking degree. But for the most part, college is useless. Waste of money. Like, if you want to go donate 100,000 in tuition, you like just go to that link at the bottom of the screen. I'll happily fucking take it. I'll at least make you a millionaire. Like, I'll at least do something for you.
Mhm.
But it's a fucking shit show. It's just fucking drugs and like. I will say the parties are fun. I've been to my fair share of shit where I've done things that I will not talk about on here. So
Yeah, I agree. But I think it showed her what the value of work is, of like hard work. And it's also given me free time, like I bring her to work with me, like over the summer or vacations, like she comes to work. And if I worked, for somebody else or worked in a corporate environment, I wouldn't be able to have that. And like being able to be more present for her of going to, school events and things like that. I like that. It's definitely given back to me in the aspect of free time and flexibility. And I know just seeing on the horizon of, fast forwarding down the road, it's just going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to reinvest in my time, my money, my energy. And I think that to me is the biggest part of why I made the sacrifices I had to get here.
and I'd like to ask you something just on like a parental level, because I'm thinking about having a son in like the next year.
I don't think it works like that. I think I think you get what you get type of thing.
So yeah, I'll definitely pop one out. I'll pop a son out in the next year and a half.
Okay, gotcha.
Because, like I said, God always delivers.
Okay.
What's it mean to be a parent to you?
It's exponential love. And every parent will tell you that, but until like you
Well, like I want to understand how like, because I've asked a lot of my dude friends who have kids, and they're just like, "Oh, you can beat the shit out of them; they're invincible. Like it's cool. You get to teach them cuss words and like the middle thing. Like it's cool to teach.
Mhm.
And that's kind of I guess the role of the father is like you build that human into a productive member of the fucking world, and not a little degenerate.
Mhm.
So you have to be like the tough parent as a father, and like no, you don't fucking do that. Listen to what your mother says. It's you teach your kids the fundamentals and principles of being a good human: respect, honor, dignity, like integrity. Like for the mother, like you guys are like the love doctors for them. What was it like when you first got to hold your daughter?
When I
Probably painful, like you just pop the little thing out. But
I think the best way I can describe it is, have you ever had your heart broken?
yeah,
That level of like heartbreaking pain, like that, but on the love side. Like I felt like I had my heart broken, and it was like there was so much love being crammed into my dead cold little heart that it literally broke open. And so when when she was first born, I'm like, I have never loved anybody or anything. Like I will literally jump in front of a train for this little teeny tiny 7-pound baby.
It was like, was it instant?
It was instant.
See,
Like,
that's instinctual.
yes.
It's in your biology. See, that's what I love about you guys, though. That's what I fucking love about you guys. Your ability to bring life and bring little miracles into this world, and like the nurturing aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you guys are so much fucking better at that than dudes.
But what's crazy for me is I think back to that time, and as I watched her grow, I love her more now. And I think about it, I'm like, how is that possible? Like, that was the most love I've ever experienced in my entire life. And it has grown every day, every hour, every minute. Like, it's something that you cannot put into words. And like, it's an infinite exponential source of love that you will never experience until you've had your own child. There's just nothing that can be compared to.
I didn't want kids for the longest time. I've had a lot of, there's been a couple times where I've almost been like trapped because some people out there are just fucking crazy. But I wasn't always receptive of it. I guess I wanted to make sure I could provide for myself before I brought someone else I was responsible for. Because I think that makes a good man. You have to be able to provide. Because if not, you're kind of fucking useless. You're pointless. And that'll probably break one of you dudes' hearts watching this. Could be in a bit. But I don't know what, like, I just want to teach life. I think that's one of the greatest things I could ever give back to this world is to bring a human who accomplishes more than I will in my lifetime and brings my name, respect, and honor and does some amazing things. But it's like, I don't know where it came from. It just hit me out of nowhere. I had a dream like a couple months ago, and it was like I could see what my kid looked like. It's fucking insane, but I woke up and it was like, I want a son. Like, it's time to get to work. But no, I'm always intrigued because I geek out on psychology and like neurology, how the brain works, but like how you like women process emotions. It's so fucking interesting to me because it takes over most women's decisions. So it's just like I know I'll never understand it fully because I'm not a woman. But like I'd love to understand that more and like how you guys actually interpret things, view it, like the internal representation. Maybe that's a toxic thing for dudes. It's like because once you know it, you can fucking play on it, of course.
Yeah.
But it intrigues me so much how people process emotions and how much different men and women are. Because I think when people understand what they're good and what they're bad at, they become way better humans. Because they're not going to do something that they're not good at forever. So I won't keep you any longer. Brianna, this has been one of the best conversations I've had on here, seriously. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart, sweetheart. So are you recruiting or anything like that? Like if people want to find you, where can they go? Like if there's anything that you want out of my audience.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always recruiting. So I think social media is always the easiest place. Just Brianna Insurance Girl, either Facebook or Instagram. I'm always recruiting and obviously always looking for clients. So too, if they need insurance, call me.
I love it. And one last question, and don't lie to me. How much do you girls use your looks in your sales?
90% of my business is over the phone. So I would say 10% of the time I use looks to get my way. But yeah, the insurance isn't it's not like another sales career. You know, it's not like I'm selling houses or cars or whatever.
Yeah, I'm curious. I see a lot of realtors do that. It's like the moment cleavage drops, it's like, I want a new house.
Yeah. Insurance is not.
It's such an easy way to get all the fucking dudes out there. So I see a lot of girls doing that shit. So I'm just curious.
Yeah.
No, you guys go follow. Yeah, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh yeah, no, I would say like with insurance, it's not a sexy career like real estate or other sales positions. It's not like that.
Interesting. Maybe in homes are different though. You get that 80-year-old man. It's like hello, Miss Vetter, I'll take that policy. Like, I know why you're buying this, Harold. Okay?
And I will sell it to you. It's fine.
I'll gladly give it to you. So no, this has been awesome. Next time you have like a tequila and midget party at your office, send me an invite because I go to Vegas quite frequently, and
I'll put you on the list.
we'll go talk about how much more we disagree with dating, and we'll go from there. Okay.
Sounds good. I appreciate you
All right,
having me
perfect.
today.
You guys go follow Brianna. She's a fucking bombshell. She's awesome in this industry, and this has been a fun conversation. She's a good counterbalance for how much I run off on tangents. So, Brianna, the insurance girl, on what handles?
Facebook and Instagram.
So, yeah, you guys go search Brianna Vetter. Her name's in that little bubble right there. You guys are smart enough to fucking type some letters out. So, until next time, party people, you guys go send us to your friends and family. Let all the family watch around. I'm the most PG person in the industry. So, go get all your kids around the TV and watch this. So, love you all. Keep being awesome. Until next time, see you later, party people.